From solar-powered cars to flying pumpkins, Duval County students have hands-on learning down to a science as our schools embrace STEM instruction.
Welcome to a new episode of Real School. I'm Joshua Pinckney.
And I'm Madeline Bryant. We'll have more on that story in moments, but first, here's a look at what else we're working on.
Coming up today on Real School.
Yay!
We're inviting you to a special ribbon cutting ceremony, all for a good cause. Stay tuned as we go on a behind-the-scenes tour of a clothes closet helping out thousands of Duval County students. Plus,
it is my pleasure to welcome you to the United States Army All-American Marching Band Class of 2015.
Talk about news that's music to our ears. Soon we'll introduce you to a Fletcher High School Marching Band senior who's drumming up support for the United States Army.
And I'm Jalen Gamble, and my story is about a group of volunteers who aren't playing around. See the amazing results next.
I can hardly wait. Thanks, Jalen. Now to our top story. Students at Mandarin Oaks Elementary are launching their knowledge of science, technology, engineering, and math into the stratosphere.
As part of a unique class project, students built a giant pumpkin launching catapult. Real School reporter George Boston joins us now with the exciting video. Hey, George.
Hey guys, there's no other way to describe it. This project was just plain cool, and I'm sure that these students will never look at pumpkins the same way again. Wow, that's cool. Can you believe that these students at Mandarin Oaks Elementary built this catapult? Of course, we can. 5th grade science teacher Heather Sevier says it all started with a great idea. Great kids and great planning.
We watched videos. We also drew blueprints of the catapults, and we came up with ideas.
Over the next few weeks, students and teachers worked together on the catapult by incorporating every aspect of STEM instruction. Science, technology, engineering, and math are all important to a quality education.
The kids actually came out and built the catapult with help from adults. So they measured the wood and the adults cut it and they used the drills and drilled it together. And so all the kids had a hand in building it.
It was only a matter of time before they finished the catapult and tested it out.
So we are going to pull back on the catapult.
Students and teachers met at the Mandarin Oaks playground with pumpkins of various weight and size and lots of anticipation.
So we were talking about if a pumpkin has a little bit of mass, is it going to go farther or not as far, and why? Why would a pumpkin with small mass go farther?
The experiment began with smaller pumpkins and fewer bungee cords so that teachers could illustrate the lessons of force and energy.
We learned that the more bungee cords we had, the more force that it took to pull it back, and that means the farther the pumpkin goes. We had to practice and keep making sure we didn't make any errors.
I liked it when it went up to in the sky, and then when gravity acted upon it, it fell down to the ground.
And judging by all the oohs and ahs from the crowd, I'm thinking these students enjoyed learning a lot about science.
I get to learn more and more new things, and I believe that science is like a part of life, and it's very important.
Teachers ended up launching more than a dozen pumpkins from the playground. A little messy, but a lot of fun. I wonder what experiment they'll tackle next. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, George. Starting next school year, more middle school students will get increased STEM-based learning opportunities with rocket science, aerospace, and solar-powered cars.
It's all thanks to a new $1.9 million grant aimed at expanding science in Duval classrooms.
3, 2, 1, go.
How cool is that? This is what learning looks like at Twin Lakes Academy Middle School, home to a state-of-the-art STEM lab. You can see students are immersed in a variety of great, hands-on activities that really require them to put their education in action.
Now, picture more labs like this one in other Duval middle schools. A Florida Department of Education grant will allow the district to build labs like this one and hire science coaches at 9 of its highest needs middle schools.
I like being able to work with more than one type of technology rather than just animation or just robotics. I can just touch every single little area of technology, which I believe that I can take advantage of that and see what I can do in the future.
It basically helped me like see how I can build stuff because I wanted to be a engineer. So it helped me see how to like build it. And it also taught me things about how people build structures.
Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Nikolai Vitti, joins us now to talk about this new opportunity.
He's here in the studio with Real School anchor Praniti Kudray.
Dr. Vitti, we just heard that these labs will be expanded in other Duval middle schools. Why is that important?
Well, I think we need to offer something new and different and attractive to our parents to buy in. Once again, to our middle schools, we've seen an increase of students leaving the traditional public school feeder pattern route after elementary school because they feel that middle schools are not necessarily offering the right programs for their children academically, or that the programs and the courses themselves are not rigorous and challenging enough. So I think the PITSCO Labs, one, allows our middle schools to offer a new and different program. It gives a stronger identity to middle schools that I think over the years have lost a true identity and a way to magnetize parents and students back. It also is very much aligned to the jobs of the future. Today, I wouldn't even say the future jobs. Today's jobs are STEM-based, and I think by students participating in the PITSCO Labs, it prepares them not only for jobs of now, which we traditionally say for the future, but it also allows them to apply critical thinking skills, analytical skills. They work together in small groups on a defined program or project or problem, and those are the same type of skills and activities that they're will have to demonstrate when they go out in the workplace, especially for higher paying leadership type jobs.
Would you say that science today requires this level of support and resources made available by this grant?
Well, I think you can always teach science through a textbook, but unfortunately that's awful boring, and it doesn't really get kids excited about science. I've never met a pre-K kindergartner that's not excited about science because it's hands-on, exploratory, and you see the magic of science come alive. And something happens across the curriculum and over time to where we lose that project-based emphasis on inquiry. And I think the lab structure with the PITSCO focus allows for those labs to come alive. And it's not required to teach science. In fact, I would say it is required to teach science the right way. Again, you can read a book and be lectured to through a textbook and do worksheets all day, but that's not real instruction and that's not really science. Science is doing and seeing it come alive and come together through hypothesis and analysis. So I think that'll allow science to be much more engaging and relevant, and therefore students will do better in science because of it.
You got a chance to see students in action at Twin Lakes Academy Middle School. What did you think?
Well, I had been there previously, so I saw a snapshot of what I know students can do in the right environment. And then throughout my career, I've seen higher level science instruction and really bad science instruction. So I certainly had a vision of what science instruction should look like. And so when we had the grant opportunity to write the grant in order to bring the PITSCO Labs to the middle school was a great opportunity because I think it will facilitate and ensure that high level of science inquiry, lab-based instruction, which our kids I know are going to be excited about it. So when I saw the kids at Twin Lakes again, it was exciting just to think about what these middle schools will look like when we bring the PITSCO Labs, and I think the same excitement that I felt watching the kids at Twin Lakes, we're gonna be able to replicate in the fall at these other middle schools that we're gonna bring to PITSCO Lab. So it's exciting work, and it defines what I think we've been able to do differently over the past 2 years. Now it's just about scale and bringing these kind of programs across the board to all kids, regardless of where they grow up.
Dr. Vitti, thanks for joining us. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Praniti. Turns out a local celebrity was in the day's forecast for a group of 5th graders eager to learn more about science.
Check it out. That's First Coast News meteorologist Tim Deegan at Lone Star Elementary School. He spoke to students about many of the concepts they've been learning in class, including the water cycle and, of course, weather. As an added bonus, students also got to hear about Deegan's personal experiences covering hurricanes, researching weather patterns, and more.
Deegan reminded students about the importance of safety during inclement weather, including always having a hurricane plan. By the way, this was an interactive assembly, so students had a chance to ask the weatherman plenty of questions. Nice. Art on the move, and a special announcement. That's just some of what's ahead on Real School.
Here's what we're working on after the break.
Still to come on Real School, a bright new food truck is hitting the road in Duval County. And in moments, we're introducing you to the student behind the bold design. Keep watching to find out how her artwork showed up on the new Brain Food truck.
And I'm Jacob Haig. It's time to strike up the band and celebrate as one Duval County senior gets an amazing opportunity. I'll have the full story in moments. Keep it here. Real School will be right back.
What makes public education strong?
Teachers, principals, vice principals, the students,
stakeholders,
people,
community, access,
relationships,
opportunity, teamwork,
diversity. You make public education strong. Create your future. Attend the School Choice Expo January 10th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Visit duvalschools.org for more information.
Welcome back to Real School. This next story is the perfect combination of good food and great art, all on the go.
We're talking about the new Brain Food food truck. It's operated by Duval County Public Schools' current food service provider, Chartwells-Thompson Dining Services. And we were there as Chartwells-Thompson chefs stopped by the district administration building with some tasty samples. There's no way you can miss this truck, thanks to one Duval student's bold and colorful design.
The artist behind it is Jillian Cruikshank, a student at Douglas Anderson School of the Arts. Chartwells-Thompson selected her design through a contest. In addition to winning a $500 award, her art will now be on display all over town. Congrats, Jillian, and very creative work. Good job.
A fresh coat of paint and hours of hard work are going a long way at one Duval County school.
More than a dozen volunteers came together to give West Jacksonville Elementary School's playground a much-needed makeover, and the timing couldn't have been better. Real School reporter Jalen Gamble has the story.
Thanks to these volunteers, the playground looks brand new. And what's even better is that the students got to play with some very special guests. Whether they were sweeping, painting letters and numbers, mulching, or marking, these volunteers gave their all. And it was all for the children of West Jacksonville Elementary School.
We want children to be excited about school. We want children to be excited about being active, to be able to enjoy this great playground and all these fun games.
Through a partnership with the United Way, volunteers from FedEx and Florida Blue were tasked with giving this playground a facelift. That meant painting playground equipment, pulling weeds, and preparing a space for new playground games.
Created a square that actually focuses on an area that the students will be able to have hopscotch and Foursquare and different activities that they can play independently without coach.
Assistant Principal Agina Sapp says their work is so much more than a spruce up. It's a confidence booster for the school and community.
It's just an amazing job. What they're doing is really, really good for our students. This is important to our students because it shows just a little bit more love. When you have something that's fresh and new to play on and refreshed, it makes you feel a lot better.
We do want to, for the children, for the teachers, for the community at large, to have pride in their area.
That same afternoon, students got to enjoy their newly renovated digs with a very special visitor, Cecil Shorts III, wide receiver with the Jacksonville Jaguars. His visit was part of an event called Hometown Huddle. The NFL is partnering with the United Way by visiting schools and encouraging students to participate in fun physical activities. Judging by these photos, it looks like students enjoyed the day.
Our students need this. They need to see that someone cares. They need to see that they have as good equipment as every other school. And the fact that it's free and they've come and volunteered their time, we're so appreciative. Our students are going to love it. They love anything that anyone does for them. So this is major.
I guess the saying is true. Teamwork makes the dream work. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jalen. Coming up on Real School, we're giving you an inside look at a program helping to clothe thousands of Duval County students. Isn't that right, Praniti?
That's right, guys. This is a very special program. I'll be sitting down with Dr. Nikolai Vitti, our Superintendent of Schools, for more details. We'll be back soon. Keep watching Real School.
What makes public education strong?
Teachers, principals, vice principals, the students,
Stakeholders.
people,
Community. Access.
Relationships.
Opportunity. Teamwork.
Diversity. You make public education strong. Attend the School Choice Expo featuring all district magnet, choice, and neighborhood schools on January 10th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center. Get more information at duvalschools.org.
Yay! And here we go. Welcome.
You're inside the new Dignity You Wear Clothes closet, housed in a Duval County Public Schools warehouse. This ribbon-cutting ceremony marked the expansion of a public-private partnership that's impacting students' lives daily.
It's estimated the nonprofit serves about 700 homeless students, as well as thousands of others who are considered in need.
Real School anchor Barika Chim joins us to share more about this growing partnership. Barika?
Madeline and Joshua, this isn't just about shirts and shoes. It's about developing the whole child and making sure nothing stands in the way of our students focusing on their education. From the outside looking in, it looks like a regular warehouse, a place to store equipment and other supplies. But look closer, and you'll quickly find rooms stocked with brand new, name brand clothing. Welcome to the Dignity You Wear New Clothes Closet.
Initiatives like these and partnerships like this with Dignity You Wear that allow us to address the whole child and allow our students to focus on our core mission, which is improving student achievement.
Dr. Vitti, joined by board members Becky Couch and Cheryl Grimes, were among those who gathered at the clothes closet to announce the expanded partnership.
And here we go. Welcome to the
For the first time, educators, social workers, and guidance counselors will have access to the closet, increasing their ability to bridge the gap for students who lack basic necessities, like pants, t-shirts, socks, and underwear.
Well, if you imagine that every day that the student comes to school without those needs being met is a day of learning lost, it's critical to get these clothes to the kids as quickly as possible.
Leaders with Dignity You Wear say what makes this clothes closet different is that these aren't hand-me-downs. It's all about brand new clothing that comes straight from leading merchants and distributors. Dignity You Wear Board President Parker McCrary says he's witnessed the impact new clothing can have on students' self-esteem.
And they held it up and they looked at it and they just got this big grin, big eyes, and said, you know, there's no holes in it, and I've never had anything new before. And it was followed just by a huge hug of their enthusiasm and what it means to them in order to be treated with something new.
Real School got a tour of the new closet, and we couldn't help but notice there was something for everyone. Staffers believe with this central location, they'll be able to reach more students than ever.
The recipients of the clothes say, hey, this is so wonderful. I really do want to stay in school. I want to be able to do this and help other people, and schooling is the avenue for me. And so one of our three big initiatives is school kids, and you really see it with those kids, how the new clothing can touch their hearts.
This isn't the first time the district has partnered with Dignity You Wear. However, it is the first time the nonprofit has opened a closet to serve an entire school district. I'm sure this partnership is groomed for great success. Joshua and Madeline, back to you.
Thanks, Barika. The Dignity You Wear Clothes Closet is one of many public-private partnerships within the district.
Joining us now to discuss the importance of these partnerships is our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Nikolai Vitti. He's here with Real School anchor, Praniti Kudre.
Dr. Vitti, this is a great resource to students and families. How did this partnership come about?
Well, Dignity You Wear has been a partner of the districts previously. What we thought through the advocacy of board member Grimes was a way to take it to greater scale and allow greater accessibility to the clothes and have a stronger distribution process than previous. So what we did was, and I thought what made the project invaluable was the fact that multiple departments worked together. You had guidance working with operations, and then and then that went to working with the Dignity Wear partner, but you had multiple people working in their own sphere of influence and level of responsibility to do something better for children. And for this, it's an opportunity to, again, create greater awareness, but also make the distribution process more efficient. So the project has brought about greater awareness about the opportunity, but it also will prevent some of the logistical challenges of getting the clothes out to schools that identify children in need. So I'm excited about being able to fill gaps for our children so that we're not worrying about having clean clothes and nicer clothes that can certainly affect a child's psyche and approach to learning.
Students have so many needs: academic, physical, social, and emotional. Should a school district be tasked with meeting students' needs outside of education?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think ultimately the answer is no. I think that there's other entities that need to step up and fill gaps for children. But the reality is because our main mission is to make sure that children are learning at a higher level, part of that analysis of why they're not learning at a higher level or to their potential leads to issues linked to clothing and mental health and discipline issues and counseling issues, etc. So in other words, if you're really problem solving and you're authentic and passionate about the challenge of having all children reach their potential, then you go through a process of questioning why kids aren't learning at their potential, and that leads you back to some of these issues, and clothing could be one. So if we have an opportunity to fill that gap, why not? And I think that's what we're starting to do differently. Instead of, and what I refuse to do is stay in a place of excuses. I don't want to be the superintendent. I don't want our employees, whether they're principals or teachers, to say, well, Johnny's not learning because Johnny doesn't have socks, or Johnny has an old pair of jeans, and kids make fun of them because they're. I don't want that to be the case. Instead, if we have an opportunity to partner with an entity that's already doing this good work, and we can bring it closer to the schools and make the deployment quicker and more efficient, and we can give Johnny the pair of jeans, why not? And I think that's how we look at it. If it makes sense, which I think most people would say it does, and it's closer to the school, closer to the kids, then let's make it happen. And let's not get into the polemics of should the school district do it, should it not, but let's solve the problem so we can focus on Johnny learning how to read and do mathematics well and write well.
What other programs, services, and partnerships does the district have to improve the development of children?
Well, I can think of one that I saw today, for instance. I mean, when I went to the downtown library today for an event, and I was right next to the MOCA, and we saw kids going into the museum. I mean, that's you can't replicate that. And seeing the kids go in with their smiles and excitement and seeing things that they would never have seen before. So that's an example when we talk about the whole child, access to cultural activities that kids normally wouldn't be connected to. I think our partnership with City Year and bringing mentors to the schools every day so they have someone to work with and talk to about the challenges that they have. Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and the Beyond Schools Walls initiative, where kids go to the workplace and see what's happening in the real world. I think the work that we're starting to do with trying to improve our full-service schools, where we're moving some of the family therapy and counseling to the school site so parents and children don't have to go to outside agencies to get care and to have help, but it can be right at the school site. Those are some examples where I think we're doing things differently and bringing the city resources, opportunities directly to children, rather than saying it's not happening and it can play an impact. It can play a role on children not succeeding.
Thanks for joining us. Guys, back to you.
Now to the story of a Fletcher High School senior who's hitting all the right notes with his musical talents.
DJ Foster has been selected for the 2015 U.S. Army All-American Marching Band. Real School reporter Jacob Haig is here for his exciting story. Hey, Jacob.
Only 150 students in the entire country were selected for this band, and only 10 from the state of Florida. But there's more. DJ is the first Duval County student to be selected for this prestigious honor. The stage was set, and the auditorium packed with members of the Fletcher High School Marching Band. This was the moment Darian Foster, better known as DJ, had been waiting for.
It's just crazy to think about how I spend long hours practicing music over and over and over again for one audition.
Surrounded by his family, his band teacher, and his principal, Foster took it all in.
DJ, on behalf of the Secretary and the Chief of Staff of the United States Army, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the United States Army All-American Marching Band Class of 2015.
What an exciting moment. Out of thousands of students from all over the country, DJ has been chosen to play in a national All-American Bowl game.
I'm very, very proud of DJ. I'm proud of what he's accomplished individually and what he represents as far as our success here in the Fletcher Band and here at Fletcher High School.
Earning placement in an All-American Band was far from easy. DJ competed against thousands of students from all over the country in an audition unlike any he's ever participated in.
I actually found out about the audition through my band director, Mr. Merkel. And then what I had to do is go on to a website and put in all my different information. And then through video auditions, I had to send videos of me playing and marching and then a personal interview.
And you could say the rest was history. When DJ found out he was selected for the band, he had to keep it under wraps. That is, until this day, where he got to share it with the rest of his classmates.
We're his support system, and he's representative of us, but also if it wasn't for his band family, he wouldn't have been successful as he has been.
DJ wasn't the only one honored in this special ceremony. Band director Jonathan Merkel and Fletcher High School principal Don Nelson received special mementos from the U.S. Army. DJ is currently the percussion captain of the Fletcher High School Marching Band, but he also plays many instruments. With all of his musical experience, we can't imagine he'd be nervous about the big performance, right?
Not right now, but I'm sure leading up to it I'll get a little butterflies.
DJ is performing in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl. The game will take place in January at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Congrats, DJ. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Jacob. And thanks to all of you for watching this episode of Real School.
You can catch another episode right here on the CW on Sunday, January 4th at 6 p.m. In the meantime, catch up with our season by visiting www.duvalschools.org.
Till then, have a great day.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Real School.
I'm sitting down with Dr. Nikolai Vitti, our superintendent of schools, for more details. We'll be back soon. Okay.
Them to put their education in action.
Now picture more labs.
Can you believe that these students at Mandarin Oaks Elementary built this catapult?
And it's only 10 from the state of Florida.
It's okay. That was actually a really good